Bradley Thomas is the Conservative MP for Bromsgrove and joins me now. Morning, Bradley.
Morning, Tammy.
Tell us why you're so frustrated by this situation.
Well, I'm frustrated for exactly the same reasons that residents and local businesses are. There's been 2 delays now. This was originally meant to be completed December 2025 or the start of 26. Then it was pushed back to December of this year. Now we're hearing that it's going to be spring. Residents are frustrated because not just the delay. We drive up and down the A38. We often see contractors that aren't working. You've got large pieces of plant hire kit that are stood there doing nothing. And I think my biggest frustration of all is that the scheme either appears to have been designed without the best interests of Bromsgrove residents and businesses in mind. And there's been a phenomenal lack of engagement around the delays that are now being afflicted on the town. And this is having a material impact on Bromsgrove's reputation. People are absolutely sick and tired of it. So there are a few questions that have got to be asked that I've tried to seek answers to. And look, because this is a scheme that's being largely funded by central government and topped up by the county council, but the county council are the delivery body responsible.
So are you saying they're to blame? Who would you say is to blame?
Well, as the county council are responsible, they've got to be held accountable. At the minute, I can only say they're the ones that people are rightly asking questions of because they're responsible for delivering it. But what people want to know is, what are the reasons behind the delays? What are the penalties going to be for contractors if they're the ones who are responsible for the delays? I've called upon Worcestershire County Council many months ago to halt all other non-essential roadworks going through the town because of the compounded effect. And the reason this call today that I'm making for the government to intervene, I've asked Heidi Alexander, the Transport Secretary, to engage National Highways, get them to review the scheme and get them to take it over and administer it to completion, is because they are responsible for maintaining strategic national infrastructure. And I would argue that the A38 is a key part of our strategic national infrastructure. It's a main arterial route, and we see the effects that when the M5 is jammed up, vehicles come off between the 2 junctions and they go down the A38 through Bromsgrove and everything gets jammed up. So the Transport Secretary has got a vested interest in this as they're funding it and does need to intervene for the sake of Bromsgrove's reputation and also the Department of Transport's reputation.
So do you think National Highways will do a better job than the County Council?
I think they're certainly more equipped. So you think that they're responsible for maintaining the motorway network. They're responsible for major trunk roads such as the A46. Now, given what I've just said about the strategic importance of the A38 as an entire route, not just the bit that goes through Bromsgrove, but also that the reality that when the M5 is jammed up, the A38 through Bromsgrove becomes, if you like, a sort of a pressure release valve, if you can call it that. It's a pressure release valve for the M5, but it's not a pressure release valve for the town when the traffic's jammed through there. So with National Highways being responsible for key national infrastructure, they are certainly better placed to deliver this. Now, ultimately, the County Council have got to be held responsible, but I think this scheme is showing Bromsgrove residents that this is a scheme that's just a little bit too big for the county to manage. They're not handling it well.
So too big for local, National Highways come in. How possible is it, do you think? Is there a precedent?
Well, there are certainly precedents where National Highways have stepped in and delivered key bits of infrastructure that haven't necessarily been within their normal remit. So they've delivered things like the A5036 up at Liverpool, the A160, A180 up at Immingham. They've been involved in the A46 trunk road around Newark in Nottinghamshire. So there's a precedent for them delivering schemes that would otherwise usually be within the jurisdiction of local councils. I'm not aware that there's necessarily a precedent where they've stepped in midway through a scheme that's being delivered by someone else, but I think the case here is quite compelling. And you had a couple of great vox pops there. The one from Andrew Banner down at Banners. I mean, he's talking about £4,000 of lost revenue a week. That's really profound. I mean, there are some businesses that are genuinely worried about their long-term viability.